Hello, class. So I'm working on the synthesis essay, or rather, you're working on the synthesis essay, and I'm going to go through the motions here for a minute as if I'm a student and read through the prompt and do a sample essay. And I'm going to spend about an hour here to see what I can come up with. And my video is not going to be an hour, though, just 15 minutes or less. So anyway, let's take a look at the prompt. Again, I'm going to close my video. All right, so here I am. Got to write this essay. See what the prompt is. All right, it says analytical essay assignment. Should be a synthesis essay. Take out the trash. 2 people are in here right now. And I'm going to change it to synthesis essay assignment. And your reading material is from Habits of the Creative Mind. And let's see, 3 essays about cell phones on multitasking. All right, I've read all that. This one is an example of how to engage in critical conversation. These 3 are the essays that we are engaging with. In this one, Richard Miller and Ann Jurecic, in that article they talk a lot about animal rights and different articles in that conversation, and what we're reading about is mobile devices and multitasking, cell phones, and so you'll be engaging in that critical conversation. Alright, so we've got the prompt. After careful reading the required material above, compose a 3 to 5 page essay that continues the intellectual conversation that Goldberger, Turkle, Rosen, and many others in our culture are constantly engaged in. Please include a creative title in your piece. Purpose. The main purpose of this assignment is to create an interesting, authentic, well-organized, well-written essay that extends a critical conversation on how we use electronic devices, while also showing careful attention to the arguments of Goldberger, Turkle, Rosen, and others. I'm assuming you've already read this prompt, so I'll stop right there, and I'll pick up here after I've done a little writing. Okay, just so I'm starting my writing process. I've opened up my blank document here, and let's see. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to start with my title. I'm going to start with my name. I know I'm supposed to do that. Put my professor's name, Dr. Ricks. The class, ENG 304, and the date. Let's see, today is the 25th of June, 2019. And I know Dr. Ricks loves it when I include a title. I don't know what my title is going to be, so for now we're just going to call it Synthesis Essay. Alright. Now I have no idea what I want to write, staring at a blank screen. So let's see. I know it's supposed to be about cell phones. And just gonna start typing here. So I'll pick up the video again once I've done a little bit more typing. Maybe I'll let you just watch as I can produce my first few sentences here. My cell phone is currently 12 inches away from me. Yours probably is as well. Here we go. There's my cell phone right here. So that's how close it is, and it's come in pretty handy several times today. All right. Now that's just the first one of the first sentences that came into my mind. I'm not sure kind of where I'm going to go from here. Let's do a little bit of free writing. What would we do without cell phones. Apparently, some people okay, so there's a few sentences to start off. I'm going to pause it and just free write here for a good 15-20 minutes, and then I'll pick back up and let you see what I've come up with. Hey guys, it's Professor Rick. So it's 20 minutes later. I've been sitting here at my computer typing for 20 minutes, and I've now got a 3.5-page essay. This is my first draft, and I'm going to read through what I've got and tell you kind of my thought process, and still a few things I need to tweak in it, but anyway, here we go. Alright, so I still need a title. So now that I know kind of what my essay is about, I'll give it a title right now. I haven't thought much about this. Cell phones. Blessing or burden. Okay, now I'm going to copyright that phrase, title. You can't use that title for your essay. I'm somewhat joking. I'm not really copywriting it, but just as a good practice, ethical practice, what I'm telling you about the title, I'm telling you about my whole essay in terms of the ideas and the words. So you can't use this, you can't write the same essay that I've written, obviously, because it needs to be original. But you may have some thoughts that you agree with from mine and some that you disagree with. So make sure that it's your own words, your own work. I'll obviously recognize it if you've taken words from my essay, and I only say that because people have done it to me in the past, and it's really obvious and not something that you want to do. All right, so that being said, though, feel free to in your essay, let me know if you agree or disagree with my thoughts, or Goldberger or Turkle. I don't own the ideas that I'm writing about, obviously. If I say cell phones are a blessing and a burden, and you agree with that, you can say that too. All right, so here's what I came up with. I'm just going to read the whole thing and give you some concluding thoughts. My cell phone is currently 12 inches away from me. Yours probably is as well. What would we do without cell phones? Apparently, some people think that we would be closer in important ways. One of these people is an urban planner named Paul Goldberger. Another is an MIT communication professor and public figure named Sherry Turkle. And if I'm being honest, I have my concerns from time to time about the prevalence of mobile devices in our day-to-day lives. My position is this: cell phones, like most technological devices, are simultaneously a blessing and a burden in our lives. Don't need the word simultaneously in there, so I'll take it out. We should probably be careful in how we use them as a result. Yeah, as a result, also not necessary. For several years, I have asked my students in college to take a critical approach to thinking about how we use cell phones in our day-to-day lives. Personally, I love my cell phone and I use it every day. It has helped me to earn money, keep in touch with loved ones, stay safe, learn more, and kick back and relax. A cell phone in 2019 is like its own little world. At the same time, I can attest to having wasted time on my phone, and there are times when I cordon off my phone from myself. I had to look up Corden to make sure I was using the word correctly. Go to define Corden, and indeed I was. To cordon something is to place a line or circle around something, preventing access. So I prevent access from my own cell phone at times, such as using airplane mode. All right, continuing. So when I ask people to take a critical look at their phones or mobile devices, it's not because I think these devices are simply bad. It's because it's too easy to never examine ourselves and how we spend our time. Okay, let me jump in here. Quick tip for the synthesis essay, and also if you choose to revise either the analytical or the synthesis essay. These are personal essays, so you are allowed to use the first person I in these essays. Okay, Montaigne, who was a French writer, he is considered one of he's an essayist, and some of his essays are 100, 200 pages long. When he wrote an essay, his goal was to explore a deep question. So that's really what the word essay originally means. It comes from a French term that's the same word, spelled E-S-S-A-I, and to essay something is to try it out, to test it. So you're essentially testing your ideas, testing your theories, so you can examine your own experiences in these essays and use the first person, but I want you to critically analyze the readings that we're doing as well as I have done in my essay. I use Goldberger and Turkle. I don't use Rosen, and you're welcome to do something like that too. Use 2 out of the 3. Don't use just 1, but use at least 2, if not all 3 of them in your essay. All right, just wanted to point out you can use the word I. All right. In fact, I think for an essay like this, it makes it better. Some critics in our culture have taken issue with the way cell phones take away our face-to-face time, even though they provide FaceTime electronically. Goldberger, for example, argues essentially that cell phones can easily minimize our connectedness to place. He writes, places are unique, or at least we like to believe they are, and we strive to experience them as a kind of engagement with particulars. Now that right there is a direct quote from Goldberger, so it's in quotation marks. You should know this rule already, but I've seen an alarming number of essays where the words from the article are used as if they were the writer's words, and there's no quotation marks. And even if you put Goldberger at the end of the paragraph like this, that doesn't make it okay. Anything that's from Goldberger has to be in quotation marks, period. Otherwise, it's plagiarism. All right, so going on, Goldberger also talks about being connected with other people in public places, but his primary concern is how we engage with the places we inhabit. I think he makes a great point, and I talk about a sunset that I saw last night. I've only got a minute and a half left in this video, so I'm going to try to wrap it up. So I have a quote here also from Sherry Turkle. This one, I technically have indented it, although really, if it's less than 4 lines, it shouldn't be indented. And since this one is a quote within a quote, I'll change these to single quotes. So she quotes a 16-year-old boy who says wistfully, someday, but certainly not now, I'd like to learn to have a conversation. I talk about what wistful means, and I talk about how I feel kind of sorry for this boy. And I think that there's nothing wrong with texting. I do it every day, but we need to have our own limits. We need to have moderation in all things. Okay, so, and again, this is my first draft. I typed it all out. I would ideally go back and revise it to make it better. Not in terms of the grammar, but just in terms of my ideas and what I'm trying to get across and make sure that it's all accurate. Okay. Now I'm using my cell phone. I'm getting a phone call. My watch started to vibrate, letting me know that somebody was calling, and I just turned it off. Okay, so I have my conclusion down here, but I've only got 10 seconds. So this, as you can see, you can pause the video anywhere you want. This is my rough draft, and I hope that was helpful.